Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 149 and what on earth is... What happened to all my fireworks just then? We used up all the fireworks, we didn't get anywhere. I think we might have got thrust at the end, but we flew straight into the lake. So yeah, not the finest start to today's episode, but I have got some very good news because as I say, today is a bit of a celebration. This marks the 1 year anniversary of my first episode of Hermitcraft. So 1 year ago today for me, I released episode 1. Episode 1 came out and I have to say it does not feel like 1 year ago. I mean seriously, it does not feel like 1 year ago. I remember doing all of the stuff at the early start of the Hermitcraft server. I'm fairly certain, I think the first thing that I did was I built the community mineshaft. That was, which is, what? Hang on a minute, so there is a Hermitcraft episode coming out tonight for me, and I'm building a mineshaft in that. That is strange. What are the chances of that? Exactly 1 year apart. Maybe it's just my yearly thing. I suddenly get a yearly urge to create some form of mineshaft. That is ridiculous, though. That is really, really strange. You know, I'm going to have to go for a second. I've got some bits to rethink. So, after I contemplated life for a little bit right there, I thought I should probably crack on with some of the plans for today's Hermitcraft episode. And plan number 1 isn't really much of a plan, but I want to head over to Exumavoid's Guardian Farm and see if he's tried to use my sign. He has. It worked! Congrats! I'm so happy. I am beyond happy. That has made me one of the happiest people on the planet. Because that episode, in fact, that entire project took 2 episodes because the first time we tried it, totally didn't work. The second time we tried it, we managed to construct this, but we were like plagued with issues. Everything was going wrong. I wired things up incorrectly. I didn't think it was going to work in the slightest. But it worked. Oh man. Now, if you haven't seen why this is impressive, I would highly suggest checking out the video, because basically we launch concrete powder upwards into into the water, and then it creates that message, and it functions, and that is the best news ever. Anyway, I'm going to stop. Oh, I'm going to stop looking at that now. Just one more. Right, okay. Let's head back over to the base. We have got a whole ton of things to do in today's Hermitcraft episode. So as you guys know, recently we've been doing a whole bunch of work on the mega mining system right the way over here. And that takes all of the items from the bottom up to the top whilst dumping away things like stone, cobblestone, diorite, andesite and all that rubbish. Thing is that we are kind of keeping those items over in the storage silos over at the brand new base. So what I thought we could do is I thought we could do just a tiny bit of mining and just a tiny bit of tunneling and transport those items over to the storage silos. Now the only issue is that we are going to have to go underneath the lake, and I imagine it's probably not going to be easy. I do not have high hopes here. That was me like punching my hands together because I got so excited. Oh no. Oh no! Oh, that went, well, it could have gone better. It definitely could have gone better. Now, just to let you guys know, in case it wasn't already quite clear, this tunnel is really, really long. I mean, seriously, this thing is incredibly long. But I've mined out the entire thing. I've connected it up into the storage silo system, and now we have got all of the compressed ice in. So this is what is going to be transporting all of our blocks over into the storage silos. Now, it winds its way down there, and then down a little bit, and then around and everything like that. And eventually it makes its way into the chest. Awesome, okay, that's brilliant. I'm going to grab some water and also some slabs, and then we're going to sort this thing out. We're making some pretty good progress on our water tunnel right here. We have got this way to go, and then I think, as far as I remember, if I remember everything correctly, which this is a very long tunnel, so you know how it is, everything starts to look the same. I think that that could be like the home straight. So there's this straight right here, and then we have got, yeah, the stairs going down to the bottom, and then we have the hoppers at the end there, and that will take the items into the dropper to be sent up into the storage system. This thing is done, pretty much. Which is a little bit worrying, as it is my only plan for today's Hermitcraft episode. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than this. Oh, I've got to go to the drawing board. Got to get out the YouTube book. Now this is looking like some crazy white water rapids, but I can promise you that this is going to be sending through the items. And there we go, they have pretty much made it to the end right there. So this is going to be the final slab, the final redstone torch, and then we just have the water. And there we go, they have dropped it into the system. Awesome, fantastic, this thing has been fully constructed, and the good news is that I should just be able to mine my way out of this place instead of having to go all the way back up the tunnel, because that would be pretty long-winded. However, I feel like I'm definitely going the wrong way about this. Now, as cool as this room looks, it hasn't really had too much use. I mean, as you can see, all of the silos are empty, and also it seems to have an incredibly noisy roof. So we should probably get to work on fixing some of those things. But first off, we need to do the test of the auto mining system. So we're going to put some items in right the way at the bottom. They're then going to go up the item elevator. They're then going to be sorted out, put into the item stream to end up in the other item elevator to be put into the sorting system over in the storage silos. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong in that? Everything. So here we are. We are down at the bottom, and I'm going to place 64 pieces of stone inside that hopper right there, and they are going to begin the journey. Now, right now, there are only 6 pieces of stone in the item sorter, and there are no pieces of stone in the chest, which means that we should expect to see, I think, 52 bits of stone in the finished silo. I am really, really nervous for this one because there are so many places that this could potentially have an issue. They should be coming through any second now. It's been a little while. I'm not seeing any items. Oh, we've got stone! That is awesome. I don't know why. I think that's so cool. But that is so cool. Now, I have just thought there is a chance that there weren't many items in the original sorter. So we're expecting to see 52 or slightly less, but not too many less, because obviously otherwise we have ourselves a serious issue. So let's see. They should make their way into this chest right here. That's brilliant. Now, the minimum number of blocks we should be looking at is 52... minus 18. I mean, we are within that bracket right there, but now that we know the sorters are fully filled, I think we should probably try again. We are missing some items. Some items are getting lost. Now it's time to try and find them. Why is Minecraft not letting me? It's not letting me have subscribe to me. Seriously though, that is really strange. Like this video. What's wrong with that? That creeper explosion that we had earlier on caused our item sorter to completely break, dumping out all of the items. But I have fixed everything. It should now be working, and we now have ourselves a fully fixed up and functional item transportation system that seems absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to cover up all of this, make sure that no mobs can get inside, and then we're going to move on from this project and do something slightly different. So the next plan is sort of a mini plan, and that is to add a bunch of doors on the inside of the mining system, because I want to close the doors that I have already been down, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So all of the mine shafts that I've actually used, we are going to place a door in front of them so that I don't go down there again. It seems simple enough. And just when you thought you were having a nice time watching one of my videos, you will notice that some of the doors are placed on one side and some of the doors are placed on the other side. And I'm going to inform you that I'm not going to be changing that. But this system is working absolutely fine. So we flick the lever. Once we have gone down that mine shaft, we flick that lever there, and then I'll know, hey, I've already been down here. There's no point in going down there because I'm not going to be finding any diamonds. So that thing That's done. That is a really, really simple project, but I would say that improves our little mining system massively. So we're now going to pop up to the top. I am going to be fixing the end bit at some point in the near future. We're going to pop up to the top, and we're going to work on a system that I think is going to be really interesting and also just a tiny bit of a challenge. Now, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do this, but I want to create a slime block launcher system that you can't actually see from up at the top here. Because as you can see, there's no way for me to get out of this place at this point in time. So we need to launch ourselves out. Now, I want to do that using slime blocks. But that could be tricky as we do... Oh my word. Is it going to be possible? Maybe I could move the chest over. Yeah, I'm going to move this chest over to this corner, and then this can be where our slime block launcher is going to be. I'm currently looking for a design that I don't know if I actually built in the Redstone testing world, which is... Yeah, that's worrying. I think I'm just going to design a new one. Now, I've got to say, guys, I don't mean to blow my own trumpet here, but this is a pretty good design. I mean, it's just 3 blocks wide, it's just 5 blocks long, and it's a fully functional flush with the floor slime block launcher. So you can see when we hit this button, that will retract that block there, and then this piston extends, pushing up our slime block, and then the slime block retracts, obviously retracting all 4 of these blocks, so then they get pushed back upwards by the regular pistons, and then this piston re-extends, covering up the slime block. And all of that happens really nice and quickly, and it looks great. Now, all I have to do here is I just have to hook this thing up into some form of input. So I think if we just do something a little bit like that, yep, that should just about do the trick. So if we hit this button, awesome. Right, let's see if it works. Oh. After the disappointment of the previous design came crashing down on me, I have come up with a completely new design that is a tiny bit dirtier, but it is exactly the same dimensions. As you can see, when we hit this button, we get the retraction, we get the launching, and then we get the replacement of the blocks, and then finally, this block comes back into place. So if we give this thing a tester, awesome. It works, it functions. Let's build it on Hermitcraft. Okay, this is a tiny bit tighter than I first imagined it would be. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank the Lord for my awesome compacting. Yes, it's just about going to fit. So far, I have got all of the bottom circuit in place, and now I'm just in the process of doing the top piece of circuitry. So that should just be redstone at the end here, and then I think we just have the 2 comparators facing in both directions, and we have the block, the redstone torch, and then our sticky piston facing across, and that should be everything. So that is completely flush with the floor. Good stuff. And then we just need to run an input into the side of one of these blocks. Now, I have to say, things are very, very compact at this point in time, but I think this right here needs to be our input block. So I'm going to place in a stone button, and we shall see if this thing is actually functioning. So we should see this piston will retract, and all of the pistons will do their extending thing. Ah, okay, we needed the pulse extender. Well, I'm just going to leave it like that for the time being. Good, okay. The circuit is working. That is fully done. Right, I'm going to get all of this cleaned up. Everything should be looking better. And then we'll have ourselves a fully functional system. So this should do the trick. We have the redstone running down into the side of that. We've got the repeater running out from the button. Right, okay, let's cover up all of this. And let's give it a whirl. We hit the button. Now that, my friends, has made me really happy. It is the perfect height. This is literally the perfect system. Stand there, bonk. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Seriously, seriously spot on. Oh no. Why did I have to try it a third time? Right, let's try it. Oh. Oh, servers and slime blocks, man. Alright, well, it's a semi-functioning system. It looks great. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Let's move on from there. The next thing that I'm going to do is just a tiny bit on the different side. We're going to be popping down into the storage system, and we're going to be taking a look at what exactly we have from the AFK fish farm, because I have been doing a lot of AFKing recently, and we have got ourselves a ton of enchanted books, and I feel like there is a slight chance that my bookshop is going a little bit unloved. So we're going to grab some of the awesome books that we have in the chest down there, and we're going to transport them over to the new shop, as well as taking a look at the other shops and potentially doing some restocking, because I've just realised I haven't restocked the fireworks shop in ages. The snot shop, I think, should be fully restocked. The TNT shop definitely isn't. So yeah, we've got some work to do. Now, I know that the idea of jumble books was the fact that it was going to be like a jumble sale with lots of random books. However, I feel like maybe I might need to improve the quality of the books. So, for example, things like Knockback 2, not really needed. Unbreaking 3 is dead handy. That is obviously going to make its way in. Efficiency 4, yes. Efficiency 4, yes. Respiration 3, absolutely. Frostwalker, you guys get the idea. So I'm going to be going through, I'm going to be picking out the best books that I can possibly... All of these are like seriously awesome books so far, but I'm going to be picking out the best books that I can find, which clearly there are plenty of them, and I'm going to be placing those in my inventory, and we're going to take those over to the bookstore. I mean, what on earth is going on? Seriously, these books are like the best books you can possibly get. Demonstrator 3, that's awesome. Unbreaking 3, epic. Yeah, that's not so good. Yeah, okay, fine, we're running out now. The other thing that I really want to do is I basically want to go through this entire thing and chuck out any terrible books. So things like Flame, Power 4, Knockback, Lure 2 isn't really that brilliant. Basically, just punch out any of the rubbish books that I think are terrible and restock them with good books, because right now we're running low on space. Honestly, doing this, my brain seems to go really funny, and I forget what's good or not. So Efficiency 3, that's not too bad. Smite 4, Protect... No, don't like that one. Smite 4, no. Flame, Power 3, Respiration, yeah, that seems okay. I find myself staring at the book for ages, trying to work out whether or not I should throw it away. All of these books have made their way into the system, and we now have 100% awesome books. I mean, look at this. All of these, bar 1 or 2, are completely next level awesome. And all of these ones as well. Now this has taken quite some time. I have been doing a lot of sorting, I've been doing a lot of throwing, so even though it just looks like 2 double chests of enchanted books, this is a long amount of work. But what I thought we could do is, I thought we could do just a little bit of a small time-lapse chat type thing while I go through all of this stuff, because, as I say, it's not the most interesting for progress updates. Now, today's time-lapse chat is going to be a little bit of a quick one, simply because footage of me transferring books from a storage system into another storage system isn't exactly the most interesting thing in the world. So I'm going to try my best to keep this brief, but as you guys know, in a recent episode of Hermitcraft, or it might have been this episode of Hermitcraft, I announced that I was going to be working on a documentary. Now that is extremely exciting for me, because as you guys know, I've been doing quite a lot of filmmaking recently. I've just been shooting a whole ton of videos, actually using camera equipment. It's something that I've always loved, but I kind of fell out of when I got into YouTube, and I'm getting back into it, and I'm really enjoying it. And I thought I'd challenge myself with shooting a documentary, so I got in contact with some guys called Otter Surfboards. And I asked them if they wouldn't mind if I popped down to their workshop and just filmed them creating their surfboards. Now, the interesting thing about Otter, the reason that I chose them, was because they make beautiful handcrafted wooden surfboards, like traditional wooden surfboards, and they look absolutely incredible. And I'm going to be producing 2 documentaries. I'm going to be producing a 60-second one, which is actually going to be entered into a competition, and then I'm also going to do an extended cut, and I can't wait. I'm really, really excited, but also a tiny bit nervous because, of course, I have never done anything like this before, so I don't really know what to expect. But anyway, I hope you're excited for it, and let's pop back onto the Hermitcraft server. After a lot of transferring books, we finally ran out. We actually ran out of good books inside my storage system. So these ones right here are going to be the last ones. Let's dump some more in these chests over here. But we now have just epic stock. I mean, seriously, we have got ridiculous books in this area right here. Now, I feel like my standards actually increased as I went along, which meant that I was taking less books back and forth, which might have made things a little bit easier for me during that time lapse, because as you can see, we've got things like, yeah, oh, there's got Infinity, that's pretty good. But there's a few books, like, for example, that. I wouldn't have taken that over in the last stages. But this is what our books are looking like. So, Hermits, if you're watching, we are fully restocked, and everyone should let the Hermits know that we now have a bunch of awesome enchanted books in the bookshop over here. But now that that's all done, unfortunately, I am all out of time for today. Now, before I go, I just want to say that my newest vlog has been released. I would highly suggest checking it out. There'll be a link at the end of today's video on that little card thing. Click on that one right there. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.